ladies and gentlemen. It's Chapter 7 of my Dead Space Remake Impossible Difficulty commentary walkthrough. And this is quite a lengthy one, 47 minutes altogether. One of my favourite chapters of the game. One of my favourite chapters of the original, where the mining subdeck and all that shit. Going up and down a lot of elevators in this chapter, ladies and gentlemen. Survival Horror 101, really. And I can't actually remember how good or bad the gameplay is in this chapter. We'll find out watching it back together. Surprise, motherfucker. Where's he going? So as you can see, we had a level 3 door there. And I think it's during this chapter that we actually get the level 3 clearance. So after this chapter, a lot of things are going to open up for us, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can see, that objective is updated. And the other side quest is updated about finding Kyne's place or whatever. And our storage as well. So all the 3, I believe there's like 3, maybe one more, side quests have been updated. Which basically means you're now in an area where you can continue that side quest on. This is pretty cool. She. So I know I'm going to get ambushed on these elevators, but like I say, there's more elevator action than any other chapter in the game, Chapter 7. And I can't remember exactly what the spawns are. I think I said that Chapter 6 is my least favourite chapter in the game, but it's a long chapter as well, even longer than this. Possibly the second longest in the game after 10. But I was happy where the gameplay goes. Something tells me the gameplay goes quite badly in this chapter. Oh. Dropping in. Don't forget the force gun here, ladies and gentlemen, if you're worried about the close proximity of everything. Just some normal slashes here. We probably will see some armour-plated enemies in this chapter as well. I think that might be it, but yeah, we're on the move again. Mentioned a few chapters ago that I was getting heartburn, and I am again. And this is a different play session, ladies and gentlemen. I had meatballs for tea today, good old meatballs. And I'm getting heartburn a lot more than usual in these last couple of weeks. Most peculiar. So yeah, with the remake, the miners have set up traps everywhere, which is pretty cool. This guy's going to get shot on by the trap. We obviously just put a box in the middle of them to stop them. But yeah, the bulk of this chapter is all about the asteroids and going on the outside. It was always one of the most nerve-wracking parts of the original game, and I think it still is with this game, to be honest. Alright, are we done now? So we'll update one of the side quests by coming in here. Don't need to stay in the room as this audio plays out, thank God. As you can see, the door is locked, but if you cancel it, then it'll let you out quicker. Last thing we need is more standby, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, there's a room that's upstairs where you can kind of control everything that happens in the room with the asteroid. And I think in the original game you go there like twice, In this game, you go there like 4 or 5 times. By the end, you're a little bit fatigued with how often you're doing it. If I'm being honest. But we've got an Infector here. I don't think he's there in the original game. And unfortunately, that's not a quick enough kill. But to be honest with you, the punishment isn't that severe. Whoa, bloody hell, he's flying. I'm not sure there's another corpse in the area for him to affect anywhere here. But sometimes when I see an Infector like that, you might notice that I spend a second or two wondering how to kill him, because I don't know what the quickest way is, because everything's so tanky in this game. Just spamming him with a plasma cutter might not work. The firewall is what I eventually decided on. Force gun's not exactly going to work. Probably the contact beam alt fire is the quickest way. You do have to be accurate with that gun, of course, as I reload it. This is the room I'm talking about upstairs. Ooh, there's one particularly nasty spawn. You know, in this walkthrough so far, how I've been talking about the random spawns and how they're one of my favourite aspects of this game. This isn't a random one, this always happens. The crawlers. I was premature there, ladies and gentlemen. Not something you ever want to be, but there we go. We dealt with them. But yeah, there's a nasty spawn in a very tight room. It's a spawn that's not predetermined. It's one of the random ones. And it shit me up more than maybe any other in the game. We'll talk about it later.
He's on the processing subdeck. I've got rig activity for a Jacob Temple 2 maintenance subdeck. Maybe he left the SOS beacon there. Just hope you can reach it through these
malfunctions. Shit.
Not malfunctions. Traps. The miner's way of holding the line.
Damn.
Okay, I'll unlock the subdecks. Just make sure that beacon's not wired to anything.
Over halfway into the project now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm starting to get a little fatigued. I couldn't do loads of post-commentary projects like this. One of my favourite long-time YouTubers and content creators in regards to video games was Seraphim17. He used to do this for many years, like a decade plus. He stopped really using YouTube the same way he used to in back, like, let's say 2018, 2019. When gaming started to get much worse, and he streams on Twitch now, and has a relatively decent sized audience. I think he's got like 5,000 followers. He gets about 50 people in his streams on average. He deserves a lot more, but yeah, if you search him on his YouTube channel, he's more than likely got a guide for the game you want. Not every game ever made, but for sure one of the most unique content creators out there. Never really got his due. He's currently playing Quantum Break while everyone's on the Alan Wake hype train. He wasn't a big fan of Alan Wake 2 because he tends not to be a fan of these games which are taking, you know, aspects of gameplay away. It's quite a slow-paced game, and it's survival horror, of course, but the pacing of the game is a little off for me, and I bet he feels the same way. So this is an interesting area. Typically, it's a lot lighter in the original game. And I think this goes pretty badly, which is a shame because it was a fight that I was wanting to nail down and do well. But I can't remember exactly when the spawns happen. I think someone's just spawned in. As always, the main issue is the time to kill. Dispatch that guy with a plasma cutter, and I locked myself in here. And I possibly wouldn't recommend doing this. Is it pregnant? Yeah, it's pregnant. He's turning round for some reason, and I'm going to split the pregnant open, I think. Look at him trying to be precise with a gun, but it's so difficult in this fucking game, man. Oh, that's just not good. No, I mean, it's difficult to be precise, but that's still my fault. But if you are going to lock yourself in, do it with a flamethrower. That's a pretty good way of doing it, to be honest. That's a puker, a spitter, I think. Two uses of TK, and this guy's... Oh, it's a Super Necro, to be fair. He's a Super Necro. Like I did say in a few chapters gone by, it's harder to differentiate the normal slashers to the super ones, the enhanced ones in this game. Just because everything's already so dark. In the original game, you can notice them. And I think they look a lot more intimidating and just sound a lot more intimidating as well.
Running out of time. Give me those codes. Christ, is this what you did to the captain? No, Ben was an accident. Don't you dare compare me to someone like Mercer. I'm trying to save you. The marker's our only hope. No, let him go. Where the fuck is security?
Okay, so we've got a contact energy schematic there, ladies and gentlemen. And then we can buy ammo. I think it's pretty expensive for the contact beam, but I don't tend to need topping up with the contact beam. It tends to be the plasma cutter, which is your go-to weapon still, of course. Oh, this guy's armor plated, so as you can see, going absolutely to town with the primary fire of the contact beam and just getting rid of the arms. And as you can see there, it worked pretty damn well. There's a level 3 security door. There's another level 3 door in this chapter. And in engineering, there's a level 3 door, so things are getting excited now. Oh, they are. And I'm looking for a claw here. And I can't quite get it fast enough, and then I realise it's kind of a crappy claw. This guy's a normal slasher, and yet 2 TK shots, and he's not dead as well. That's a little bit disappointing, to say the least. I just noticed my health isn't at 100%. Have I just kept it like that since the start of the chapter? I don't remember taking damage. Why did I take damage? Either way, we're at the store and we're having a little bit of a think here. Yeah, like I said, just propping myself up with a plasma cutter, you know, just making sure I've got enough. I'm anticipating buying a small med kit here. That's what I do. Oh no. So this is an intriguing room, ladies and gentlemen. It's the one with the asteroids in. The spicy meatballs, singular meatballs, and buying a stasis pack. Okay. Don't do that too often in this game. As you can see, I'm out of stasis right now. And I like to know where all these asteroids are before we begin. Just so I know where I'm flying to, because we're going to get quite a few spawns of enemies. And I think in the original, if you take all these asteroids out without killing the enemies, I think they just die as soon as you turn the gravity back on. I can't remember if that's the case. Look at that though. What's going on there? That the game is bullshitting me. So I've got to fly to this side. Oh, then he picks up that. Fucking Jesus, man. How is the kinesis worse than in 2 and 3? Look at it. That's appalling. It's like I said earlier. In this game, upgrading the kinesis and the stasis and stuff like that and the range of it, etc, etc, that's based on the suit you have. So you can't continue that upgrade path until you get the next suit. And we do get another suit in this chapter. The level 4 suit is in chapter 7. I think that's the case. Might be chapter 8. Oh. So gravity's back on. There's a door behind us that we can go in, but I'm killing everyone first. Let's see how this goes. The explosion killed the normal slasher. I'm looking behind myself here. Let's cut that pregnant down. See what I said before about the distance? Even in the original game, you're going to get hurt there if you blow that up so close. I have a few firewalls because I love the flamethrower. I really do. There's a force gun. Look at that. Look how close you can be. I don't know if I took damage there. That's the original game. Even on like normal difficulty. That's going to hurt a lot more than it does here. It's kind of satisfying. I did say it. Probably during Dead Space 1 and 2 in the past when I've done them. There should have been more of the armor plated guys. You've got to shoot in the arms. You can kill them by continuously shooting the legs, but it takes a heck of a lot more ammo. I think they're pretty cool, those guys. Oh, we're going through this way. Because I forgot to do that. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Can't remember if this was a power node room in the original game. I don't think it was. I'm sure something's alive. I'm quite far from my laptop screen as I'm watching this back, but that went okay. A couple of times I was a little bit too close to the exploders. Can't complain too much though. Get all the loot and let's move on. So there we have it. Level 3, people. And I like the fact that they gave Dallas a typically southern sounding voice as well. Just because of his name. Which he didn't in the original game, I don't think. I don't think he did. He might have, to be fair. This is a G-bait, but the way this worked in the original, I think if you left a few enemies alive, they'd drop in here, especially the exploders. Because I can't guarantee I've killed them all, I'm still a little bit perturbed.
The administrator's rig changed location. You got it?
I got it. I'll check the maintenance subdeck for Temple's Beacon.
Right, medium health pack, semiconductor, ammunition. Let us proceed. And a random lurker. That's the one that I didn't kill. What's he doing there? He was in that room earlier on. I don't exactly know where. But ladies and gentlemen, there's the contact beam. I think we've upgraded the primary fire once by now. I think it makes you wait quite a while for the rest of the upgrades in that gun. Ammo-wise, we're looking good. I think I left some Ripper Blades in my inventory there. I mustn't know they're there. Yeah, I see them. Oh, there we go. I've just sold them. Obviously, we are going into a no oxygen area later in this chapter where the asteroid is. So, I've got a can in my inventory just in case. And I recommend you do the same. I still do that in the original game, to be honest with you. Just because the arms that stop in the remake when you deactivate the interior tethers, from what I remember, they don't actually stop moving in the original game, so they can still kill you when you're flying back in. That's not the case in this game, so it's a little easier actually. So I've made sure to just keep a few claws on the floor. I wonder what the fuck that was then, that camera angle. Just the dead slasher obstructing our view. But yeah, there's a few claws on the floor there. And I've readied the force gun. So any bullshit that occurs, we can fight back.
He must be in defense on the crew deck.
They're bringing something in.
Altman be praised.
Make it stop. Make it stop.
What? That was the marker. Did you?
No. I didn't see anything. I lost him and signal again.
SOS beacon. I want off this fucking ship.
So we got a Guardian, or two. Alt fire of the flamethrower. And for some reason he doesn't die straight away though. When he should. It's pure bullshit. More fire action. Let's get out of the room. There's another infector. And he's moving incredibly quickly and unfairly. And I don't know what that slasher's doing, and I don't know what I'm doing. Fucking die. Jesus Christ, man. Well, I've hit him again. He's got some skinny legs going on now. Hit him with TK. He's still not dead. And he's finally dead. But, oh my lord, ladies and gentlemen, just how tanky would you like your enemies to be? Remember what I said earlier about the Guardians, though? It's kind of hard in this game, much harder than the original, to tell when the Guardians are dead. Needless to say, that's not a good thing, and I can't really explain as to why that's the case. I think it's just probably because everything's too dark in this game, like I keep saying. And also, they do have the same kind of scream, but because everything's quieter, I don't know, man, I just find it harder to know when they're dead. So Kinesis right in front of them, and if you see ammo, then you know that they've died and dropped loot. But I didn't see any though, even though I hit an explosive at him and the firewall. One behind me. And look that I get hit. You know, I couldn't remember that, but right there in that moment, I was thinking to myself, yeah, I bet I'm going to get hit here because the time to kill is too much. For me, that should have been quick enough, but it wasn't, and I get damaged. Pretty poor gameplay, but I'm going to blame the game there, I think. I really am, genuinely.
What difference does it make now?
Terrence Kine. Right, that updates the side quest, ladies and gentlemen. Investigate Mercer's quarters. We don't need to worry about that until chapter 10. And these rooms here are a G-bait. One doesn't exist, and one's got one of those kind of premature guardians behind it. Guess that's what we'll call them. And we've got the gondola now, and unfortunately this goes pretty badly. Yeah, it does. Yeah. Even in the remake, it's like this is a part which sometimes goes well and I just nail all the tentacle throwing things, and then sometimes it just goes shit and it's a clusterfuck, and it's a clusterfuck here. But I think in the original you don't get slashes on the side. I think it shows those puking ones. I think they're there. Let's watch it together, but it's more bad gameplay. Not one of the walkthroughs that I'm most proud of, this one. You know, I do like this remake, but I prefer the gameplay in the original first two Dead Space games. This game's definitely better in every aspect than Dead Space 3, of course, but oh dear. That's just unacceptable. What the fucking hell? Yeah, getting angry, and I'm not surprised, man. Stupid fucking gondola itself is getting in my way. And then the sensitivity is never right, and the guns in this game, like I've already spoke of many times before. Okay, it's done. That wasn't very good. I mean, you do want to be using the plasma cutter there. It's more poor gameplay. But here's the waifu, ladies and gentlemen. We found her. I can't believe it. Just ignore that meme from the start of the game, chapter 1. That picture. Shit.
Thought I'd never see you again. I'm gonna get us home. There's an SOS beacon nearby. We can call for help.
Beacon, right? They locked it in the workshop. This way.
So I think there's actually slightly less enemies in this room whilst you're protecting Nicole. She can die in the original game, you know, even though she's already dead. Maybe it's like the end of the second game where Isaac kills himself with a javelin gun.
Let's get you that beacon.
I'm guessing she can die here in the remake, but I've never seen it happen myself because it's kind of hard to let her die. I hate to say it, but I think something goes wrong here as well. Oh, hello there. How is he stasis when he was behind me and I didn't stasis him? I'm confused by that. Oh, he's still alive. Do I know that? It's not so bad. Primary fire of the contact beam. He's already dead. Oh, that was okay, to be honest with you. Just a little bit confusing how that slasher from behind me got stasis without me stasising him.
It's done. The workshop's open. I've never seen you at work. You're a surgeon with that thing.
I got your back. Okay. How do I reach you?
No, focus on launching.
No health items. That's really poor. And obviously, ladies and gentlemen, you want to be avoiding that happening. You know, it really annoys me. Although obviously people are free to play the game the way they want to, but when you watch someone play literally any game, to be honest with you, especially these kind of games, and they're selling health items, and it's weird, people have differing opinions on how to view health in games. Like, some people just sell all the health items anyway and say, oh, if I don't get hit I don't need to worry about them, yada yada yada. But I like it when you've got to respect, you know, the health items that you got, and I like games where you can pay a lot of money for a little bit of additional health, or to hold more health items, sorry, you know. I'm thinking like the Evil Within, you get 3 syringes instead of 2, for example. It can be absolutely vital, but I've seen games where people just sell the health items, if you can sell them. I don't know, it's just something I think of, you know. With no health items, and I'm going to have to maybe buy 1 or 2, and perhaps I do here. When we get to the store again, I can't remember, but we've got a little bit more of the growth. And we get more of the pods. I can't exactly remember where they are. Is that one? Yeah. No noise to suggest that they're spawning there. You don't have a indicator that it's happening. So you've just got to be wary. I kind of know where they're coming from because I've played the game a few times by now. But when you don't, you're probably going to get hit by these guys and you're probably going to get pissed off as well. There's an explosive. Here's another one. And this door, I think it's got some goodies for the flamethrower, mostly. That's level 2 or 3, that. Yeah, there's the flamethrower upgrade. Brilliant. Some credits. And a node. Good shit indeed. I think there's just 1 or 2 more of the pods now. Shoot ammo crates here. I have a bit of a hard time getting back up to the surface though. Do I? Oh no. I have in the past, but managed to find our way back relatively easily there.
Exiting zero gravity.
It's the top deck now. Still got a claw there in front of us, if we need it. I know eventually there is a lurker that attacks us here. Oh, here we go. Something's coming. No, this ain't the top deck. That sounds like a lurker to me. enemies. Probably should be using the flamethrower there. There's no probably about it. I would this time round, but whatever. Plasma cutter does the job. Not sure I got that first shot, but certainly got the second shot, and the leaper is dispatched as well. Oh! Mr. Slasher, armor plated, ladies and gentlemen. Take out those arms instead. Good job. As we can see, the force guns now, after 1 or 2 upgrades, it can put in a little bit of work, weaken an enemy. And that's the way I use it, either to finish an enemy off, or to knock them down and then hit them with a heavier weapon. Of course, sometimes you just want to buy yourself time, or shoot an enemy with it and run away. Force gun, what a weapon. Oh, perfect timing for that. Back to no health we go though, and I've seen that and I'm unhappy, so I'm immediately going back to the store, see what happens here. Oh, there we go. We just picked up the suit, level 4. If I remember correctly, I think it's like 35,000. I just saw the conductor for 10. And I think I do this now. I think I get the level 4 suit, but I realise, and I'm yeah, I remember in that moment I was like, fucking hell. I've had to put a big ×3 medkit in my inventory, and I didn't like doing it. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, in prior chapters, I can only record 30 minutes of footage before I have to cut up the video, so that's why there was a jump cut there. Oh, earlier on, watch this. I said there was a bad spawn. Look at this. I'm like, oh, okay, got enemies. Look at that exploder. Look at that exploder. And I'm thinking, fucking hell. Now I don't know if I'm close enough or I'm too close. So I decide to go for a body shot there. Just keep pummeling him. He's dead. We'll leave the explosive. Fuck it. Stasis again. Whew. What about this, ladies and gentlemen? What about this? And there we have it. I think we coped well, but that's a random spawn. There's not even guaranteed to be any enemies in here. In fact, I want to say that I've never had enemies in here at all. Maybe one slasher perhaps in the past, but this playthrough, 2 of them and an exploder right up in your motherfucking grill. I've already mentioned that they've nerfed the exploders, but would I have got away with shooting that? I don't know. Be very careful, because that could be the end of your impossible run right there. Pretty cheeky, huh? Oh, okay, no.
Launch tubes obstructed.
What was that?
The miners must have booby-trapped the launch tubes too. They're scrap.
Well, that's great. We can't just toss the beacon out a window.
There's gotta be something. The asteroid. The one in the mining bay for smelting.
What about it?
If I attach
What about it?
beacon to that
You
asteroid
schmuck
and then
fuck.
launch it away from the ship, we'd get a clean broadcast.
And you get yourself killed. The machinery in there is still running, Isaac.
Then it probably kept those things out too. This is our best shot, Kendra. I'm taking it.
I did mention in one of the prior chapters, guys, just be careful when you go on the outside with the exterior tethers that you have destroyed the interior ones. It will give you an update. It will pop up like that to tell you, but I ignored it on a playthrough before this, on the last playthrough before this. I thought I'd destroyed the interior ones. I hadn't, and then I got killed coming back, so just be careful and wary of that. Bring the battery with you this time. I've got a small medkit there and a large one. Oh, I've seen something. So we've now rocked out with a level 4 suit. We haven't got that many credits to our name. We've got 5 nodes though. Oh. Okay, and you know, I can never remember this game for the life of me. I've played them so often, the first 2 games, but gold, bronze, diamond, ruby. I always forget how much the semiconductors are actually worth. Ruby and diamond are worth more than bronze and the other one, but... Ooh. Suit. What's that? Is that, yeah, Kinesis throw damage. So that's the first time in the game that you can increase the damage of your TK. Now in Dead Space 2 you can do it straight away. That's interesting. That was obviously just a decision from the devs to not allow you to upgrade it as quick. Anywhere near as quick or as much. One upgrade, I didn't see what that was, but one upgrade into the Force Gun, and we've also upgraded the reload and the damage of the flamethrower. The flamethrower is even beefier now. We've got some exploders. And there's the last one. And this guy glitches out a little bit. You see him glitch out there? Struggling to make his way around the geometry in the area. I'm a plated guy. Force gun once. And it's getting hot in here, like Nelly once said. He got shot on. And you can tell coming up what the game wants us to do. I think we get like 3 or 4 stasis packs here in this next room coming up. Quite a few, there might be more. Yeah, about 3. It's one of the only times in this game where you can tell that the loot is predetermined for a particular reason. You know, the original game did that as well. Like, when you went to the centrifuge, there'd be an Urcan just outside it, for example. Something along those lines. This game doesn't do it often, but does it there? Armor plated, so we're going for the arms again. I'm throwing ammo at this guy. I just find it a little bit awkward in this game, and obviously many people have said it as well. Just the aiming of the plasma cutter. The speed that it fires is very quick by default, but it almost feels too quick. There's just something not quite right about it. So you've got to be careful here. You've got to pepper these tethers more than you do in the original game, in my opinion. We are being chased now by some enhanced leapers. I think this is the introduction of the enhanced leapers. You know, in the original game, they deal a lot of damage. And I'm guessing they do in this game as well. Might actually get damaged once here. I know they're behind me. Oh my god! There he is. Have some stasis, you prick, and have some alt fire with a contact beam. I've just been hit. Yep, I'm not surprised that upset me. Finish him off. That was a weird shaped claw. It wasn't exactly a claw, but it damaged him. Using the force gun for some reason. Giving him a nice spray of the contact beam. Primary fire. Yeah, I do think it's the best way to play the game with Dead Space Remake, but I do really get off on using a multitude of weapons in games. For me, it's quite simply one of the most intriguing aspects of video games, and why I kind of always a little bit annoyed when people do a plasma cutter only run, if it's the first playthrough, you know. I mainly just use the same weapon in the game. And that's definitely one of the positives of this game. Because in the original, plasma cutter's so good, you could say it's all you need. I don't think so, but here we go. So we're outside now. Plant the beacon. No animation like there is in the original game. Although in the original game, you just press select and you can get out of the animation anywhere. Let's get some more oxygen. Here are the 2 external tethers. That's the way I do it. I just spray along it after stasising. Even shooting that container. I can't remember if there are lurkers on the outside here. I don't think I see them, but I'm anticipating them. In the original game, there are 2 lurkers out here. So we're done now, and we've still got a lot of oxygen, to be fair. But I got PTSD from the original game here, where you've got to time the way that you jump back in. But you don't. But like I say, on the playthrough before this playthrough, I was killed coming back in because I forgot to disable the interior tethers. So I'm still shitting it. But there's no need to. They've been disabled. And we're out. And ladies and gentlemen, we're getting towards the end of Chapter 7 now. It's a real behemoth of a chapter. It's been okay overall. Not the best gameplay, but surviving this ship. And then we've got Chapter 8, where we will communicate with the Valor. We'll do that puzzle, the communications one, which really confused me on my first playthrough. But looking back, I don't really know how, because it is pretty self-explanatory. And we've got to take the battery with us, just avoiding the fire. I was watching someone play this game yesterday on Twitch. Just a highlight of the game. Sometimes my favourite games, I like to see the highlights of the week on Twitch. It's mainly women screaming and VTubers being, well, VTubers, which isn't good, but there are some people who it seems like they'd be fun to watch. And there's that part in Chapter 6 where that fire is. I got grabbed there by a slasher and he died, so I think it's an instant kill. I don't think it is in the original game. You know those 3 kind of tubes which get set on fire? He had like 3/4 health and he got immediately killed by it, so I guess that's realism.
It's working. The beacon's online, broadcasting wideband. I'll align the receiver. Take a minute. Head on back to the train station.
So there's the hunter. I can't remember in the original game. Is the hunter in this room or not? I don't think he is he? It's just 2 enhanced slashers. Kendra's dialogue makes me laugh though. So eventually we're going to have a lever to pull in here, which will help us open the door. So it's just about pacing this and timing it right. They're not enhanced slasher. Is he dead? No. Yeah, he is. Oh, there we go. Get the force gun. Boom, get out of our way. And we've got a surprise there. Get out of our way. I'm not going to bother killing them, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on. Don't think they can attack you on this floor. I don't think they can travel through the vents and get you from where I am now. It's not happened, at least for me yet. Got a lot of spare stasis here. Certainly not going to complain about that. And now I think we're going to be chased back to the elevator. I'm prepping the force gun. I shoot him and for some reason he doesn't fall over. That's upsetting. But let's save our ammunition.
I think it's gone, but I can't be sure. The system's bugged out again. I'm getting those camera glitches. The ones that look like my brother, waving at me. At least the beacon's away. I'm aligning the... Wait. Array receiver not responding. Oh shit.
The comms array. We never fixed it. Guess it wasn't a broken encoder.
Then let's hope that 48 hours estimate was wrong too. No comms, no rescue.
So at the top here, ladies and gentlemen, we've got some dividers.
You see what's happening with the array.
And you could run past them. I tended to in the original game, but there's a level 3 locker to my left with quite a lot of credits in, so I think, you know what? Man's got a flamethrower. Man's gonna use it. We're on 57. Our ammo's on 57 though. Are they all dead? Yeah. So we didn't use much ammo at all. Yeah, that's over 1,000 credits. That's worth it. Enhanced slasher. I want to say that he's a random spawn. Just checking my 6. Making sure no one's coming at me from the rear, Lord Harris style. And look at this. He gets hit by the firewall. I think that's the first time we've seen that in this walkthrough. What was that, a good 10 seconds after the fire was started? I mean, it's always been burning since the world's been turning, ladies and gentlemen, but he just walked into that and still got damaged. I wasn't thinking that'd happen, but it just shows you how good the upgrade to the firewall is. That's the main takeaway from this playthrough. The flamethrower freaking rules. Oh, I guess I will see you guys for Chapter 8. Bye-bye.